Breaking news, a community in shock and mourning a grisly murder. 8 people of the same family found shot and killed execution style. I'm Ellie Merritt.
And I'm Dwayne Pullman. We've been on top of this story since it broke in Pike County this morning, and tonight we continue getting new and disturbing details. It began with reports of multiple deaths at a property on Union Hill Road east of Peebles. Investigators searched 3 properties in all belonging to members of the same family. We have team coverage tonight. Courtney Yoon has been getting reaction from people in that area.
Ted Hard had a chance to speak with the family's pastor, but let's start with NBC4's Renee LaSalle with the very latest from investigators. Renee.
Yeah, Ellie, Dwayne, we are live at the Piketon Government Center this evening. We just heard from Ohio Attorney General Mike DeWine and Pike County Sheriff Charles Reeder calling this a grisly crime scene. Now, it stretches across 4 different homes, nearly 30 miles, but all killed again were from the same family. Investigators say that none of them committed suicide and that the shooter or shooters are still at large. Now, that first call came in just before 8 o'clock this morning. The caller said that 2 men were dead, bleeding, possibly dead, that is, inside of a home. Deputies headed to that home on Union Hill Road in Piketon, and as they made their way there, they were alerted, flagged down, alerted to 2 more crime scenes, all within a mile of each other. As the investigation went on during the day, they learned of another scene about 10 minutes away. Again, all deceased were members of the Roden family here in Pike County.
Each one of the victims appears to have been executed. Each one of the victims appears to be shot in the head.
I can tell you that in this tragedy, 3 children survived. 1 being 4 days old, 6 months old, and 3 years old.
Now, we are told that 4-day-old child was lying in the bed next to its mother, who was shot today during this horrific crime. Again, members of the Roden family are being alerted tonight, watched out, and offered protection by the Pike County Sheriff's Office. But again, those shooters are still at large this evening. So if you are in the area, you are advised tonight to lock your doors. Now, if you have any information on this crime, no matter how small, you're asked to call the Pike County Sheriff's Office. Reporting live in Piketon, Renee LaSalle, NBC4.
Some very grisly details indeed. Renee, thank you. Now, investigators held off on naming the victims as agents from the Bureau of Criminal Investigation rushed into the property to help in the investigation. We're told search warrants were issued to search the properties. NBC4's Ted Hart has been following the story all day for us. And Ted, you had the chance to speak with the family's pastor.
I did. He was here at the scene earlier today. I'm actually at the foot of Union Hill Road, and it's we've seen investigators coming and going. They've been basically holding us at this point throughout the day. It's kind of where they're staging, but about a mile and a half up the road is where the first of these crime scenes exists. This was such an overwhelming crime scene that there was so much for investigators to process that it really did slow the release of official information, and that slow process has been agonizing for members of the Roden family and friends who have been desperate for details. Family members gathered at the Union Hill Church to wait for word of exactly who was dead, who was injured or unaccounted for.
They need prayer.
You know this family, though.
I know the family.
Pastor Phil Fulton was just stunned by the mass shooting. Through the day, crime scene investigators rolled in to help, but there was precious little official information coming out. For Pastor Fulton, the whole scene seemed so foreign to his little corner of the world.
Says how sad this is. Unbelievable that it's now coming to our county. And it is just unbelievable, these things that's happening and going on. It's, you know, such tragedies like this, you know, we should not have them.
By mid-afternoon, the extended family of close to 100 people had gathered at the church. David Dickerson is part of a crime victim response team from the Pike County Prosecutor's Office. He said the family was very upset with the lack of official information, and he was there to try to help.
We all have a lot of questions, and of course, that being their loved ones, they have a lot of questions as well. And I'm just trying to answer those questions as they come in.
And that has not been easy. The Roden family was clearly irritated today by all of the media attention that this has received, when really all they wanted was some answers and a chance to privately process what was happening. And now, of course, they're being told, we heard this in the press conference within the past hour, that the shooter or shooters may still be at large and that they as a family need to be very careful. Live in Pike County, Ted Hart, NBC4.